be sure to read it in your spare time. Understand what the risks are associated with trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, good. So let's take a look at what happened yesterday, and then how you may see it unfolding today. So yesterday was the final day of the previous cycle, and typically in pretty well cycle form, on a cycle day 3, we typically have some sort of a decline at the end of the cycle. And that's of course what we did get yesterday. We actually had a continuation from the weakness that spilled over from cycle day 1, cycle day 2, that is. Right, so there's a CD2 high up here. Right, that's on the NQ. Either one, NQ or ES, same basic patterns. All right, so we started off with some cycle day 3 consolidation, but we ended up having what's referred to as a descending triangle type formation. So for those of you that are familiar with descending triangle type formation, that is a bearish formation. And we ended up getting that break. Right, this was pretty much during the overnight session yesterday, coming into yesterday, and that created our cycle day 1 low. We got that bounce, and then we had a retest during the RTH session, and then from that retest we ended up getting a rally right off of that low. So yesterday, I mentioned this again a number of times throughout the day, but prices yesterday had reached the projected zone, okay, for a cycle day 1 average decline. And we ended up getting that bounce and then retest. All right, so today, market's somewhat following through. We came within 2 ticks, I believe, of the final reclaim of the cycle day 1 low. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, for all intents and purposes, that's essentially a reclaim. We had the reclaim in the Globex session, 3-day cycle. It just came very short in the RTH, but a lot of times what we do there is in the following session, it typically will follow through and essentially reclaim it. So that's all happened, and you can see here 38 quarter, and overnight prices have pushed up to around the 55s, which was one of our targets. Line in the sand today for us is 75.25. All right, now here's the nuance. And I wrote this a little bit. Am I cutting out? Hold on just a moment then. Okay, good morning once again. How's the mic now? I just want to make sure the audio is better. Okay, super. Sometimes I need to reset my mic. Okay, great. Yeah, please let me know always about the audio. In most cases, it requires that I just reset my mic headset. Mike was better yesterday. Okay, good. I love the humor. Love the humor. All right. So, anyways, in terms of the kind of the nuances of the cycle, quickly. Generally speaking, we're looking for a decline once the end of the cycle completes. And again, yesterday we ended up getting that move down to the average decline. So if you take a look at kind of the ebbs and flow of the cycle, it's not necessarily that, you know, the each day must conform perfectly to an ideal cycle. A lot of times they kind of, you know, spill over into the prior day, or they spill over into the next session, right? So for instance, right, as an example, today is a cycle day one. Typically, we would be looking for some weakness for a cycle day one to establish a decline. But if the weakness occurred at the end of the prior cycle, again, yesterday, and it fulfilled the projected average decline, which we would be thinking about today, again, which it did yesterday, then the market is just telling us that the average range, all right, to the downside has been satisfied. And then buyers step in. They don't care whether it's a specific cycle, day one or day two or day three. Remember, that's kind of a cycle template that we use, right, for the various rotations. But the market's going to do what it wants to do. It's up to us. It's our responsibility to interpret what is going on as it relates to the 3-day cycle. Okay, if we're following the 3-day cycle, right? So what we're trying to do is measure what those average ranges are, and if price has fulfilled various range of objectives, as it did yesterday, then this is what happens. Buyers here step in, all right, yesterday, and then one of our scenarios coming into yesterday, if you recall, was a potential retest, right, of the overnight low, which we ended up getting. And then the market then kind of views that as, okay, there's no further sellers, right, willing to sell below those levels. What that does is it creates new demand, because everybody's sitting on the sidelines saying, hey, there's no more sellers. It's safe to start buying. And so they do. And then since essentially the sellers had, for all intents and purposes, sold out, you get that move to the upside. And that's kind of what happened yesterday. And during the session, on that retest, I did post in our community that now the market is clear or free to explore to the upside, work to reclaim the cycle day one low. All right. So it's just basically kind of looking at the auction and finally realizing that the auction has cleaned itself out of sellers. And then once the new demand begins to form, okay, then there's no real supply to hold it down any further. And then new demand begets more demand. People start seeing that on the sidelines, and they come off the sidelines, and it just begins to feed itself the momentum, right? Keep one thing in mind. The market, you know, we don't talk about this necessarily in those terms, but really the market is just simply, you know, supply and demand, right? Merchandise moving around. People need to sell. Again, we're talking about the institutions, right? They need to sell, not for any reason other than perhaps I want to liquidate some here and I want to put monies to use over there. Okay, so lots of people seem to think, oh, they're selling and we're going to break down. We're in a big range, and I don't see anything at the moment, you know, unless really something happens. Even what's happening overseas recently, again, the startup of the activity there is not really has done anything damage in terms of the market. The market's, you know, just going to continue to rotate. So you just kind of need to think of it as, what are the rotational ranges? The theme still continues to be, you know, buy the F and dip, right, and then it rotates higher. Also, I think, you know, again, since we're in the middle of the summer here, things will tend to thin out on a week over basis. People will be taking vacations, spending time with family, etc. Right? So the markets tend to get a bit thinner during the hot summer months, and people want to get away from the screens. So that's something that you may also consider for yourself, not spending as much time on the screens, spending a little bit more quality time elsewhere, right? But while we're in front of the screens, we give it our full effort, and then we throttle it back. So let's see how we unfold today. Again, cycle day one, we didn't really get a decline today so far. I mean, we have a low in place at 16s, but we really didn't get a decline. So again, we're still kind of thinking about that low from yesterday being much more important overall. But technically, we're still looking for a cycle day one low for this cycle. All right. All right, so right now, coming into the RTH session, you can see here the upside lean is the dominant side. So we'll stick to that for the time being, and unless there's a change of character. All right. For our charts over here in the pre-opening, we have a discount ATR long that triggered off a bit earlier before we begin our session here. All right, so at this point, market is just kind of in this somewhat of a neutral range. All right, you can see the VWAP here once again kind of flattened out as we enter into RTH. So we'll outline the sandbox, if you will, roughly. Again, our line in the sand are the 25s. So 75 25s, make a note of that. So we'll keep that as line in the sand. And pretty much up here 55. So we'll go 25s, 55s. I know it's simply fairly wide, but really that's kind of where the market has maintained most of its activity, and we'll begin at that point. For those of you trading crude oil, opening range, okay, we are short of crude oil. Let me just pull that over. We are short of crude oil in that opening range strategy. All right, that's the skinny on the mini. Feel free to ask questions. Let's have a good session. All right, here we go. Dingity ding ding. There goes the bell. All right, so we scratched out the remainder of that early long position. It wasn't really a high probability trade. It was somewhat right there in the middle. So a scratch on that is welcomed. Manage the risk. So in terms of levels, if we're thinking again, if we get a move down back towards like the 25-30 zone, I'll be looking for some dip buying opportunities. And for any further upside potential, again, above those 55, 65s, which is part of our daily trade strategy levels, check those out. I did post the link there. And what you'll also find, again, when I was writing the daily trade strategy, many of the same levels that I've been posting over this recently come back into play. And the reason for that simply is, when I'm writing that out, like I'm not putting any real new levels. I'm kind of repeating many of the same levels simply because we're in a range. And so the market is just kind of moving from previous levels back to other previous levels. All right. So hopefully we'll have something a little bit more exciting today to trade with. Yesterday we didn't have really a stellar session. Yeah, it was pretty boring yesterday, but again, we're in the summertime rhythms here, so we shall see. One of the things we want to absolutely be is flexible, right, for our opportunities. My bias right now, or the lean, really, it's not my personal bias, but it is the market's bias as I see it right now, somewhat neutral, right? So I'm going to be very, very selective. Obviously, always our kind of A plus trade categories. But given the overnight action, which is pretty much rotational, balancing type of action, so let's just be patient. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Feel free to post. What else? All right, again, looking to probe along around the A10 level there, 27, 28 area.
Target filled.
See if something good can come there. All right, heads up, back tested setup 4. Don't know what setup 4 is, but good trade. All right. Well, just missed our entry. Looks like Manny got his entry. All right, just missed our entry. Had the right idea, just didn't get to our level. Thanks, Terry. Manny's entry was 532. Okay, I didn't know what that entry was. All right, that was kind of picked that low. You had 32s. I had 28, 29. So it was very, very close. So Manny ran ahead of me. That's okay. We both had the right idea. He got the execution. All right, so good job, Manny. Manny has the trade so far. Again, sticking to the long side here, and certainly we can push. Yeah, the overnight high is certainly in play, which is at 63s. All right, so we'll be looking for a pullback here if we can get on board. Don't want to chase it, but wait for some sort of a halfway decent pullback. Oh, you know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant the prior high, not the overnight high. You are correct. I'm referencing the prior high at 63. Numbers. It's number soup. So many numbers. All right, Manny got his 20s. All right, coming down here, we get a high volume node around the 45, 46s. Let's see if there's a spot there. Maybe they get to make another run to try to retest the prior highs. Let's see where that goes for us. With the way the current swings are running, right, we could get deeper pullbacks here. So keep that in mind. I'm looking at the prior swings, and they're just kind of wide rotational swings. So we're up on this upper end of this current swing. All right, this could easily fall apart lower, but if the buyers still want to hold around these 50s, all right, again, the next target would be up there around the prior highs, 60, 63s. All right, there we go with the 58s. Back to prior highs, or overnight highs, that is. I'm sorry. Got to clarify overnight highs. I had a discount there long and an A4 long. So both playing out nicely here. Got a quick scale. All right, 2 take profit scales. And stop is now at break even. Everybody can see the charts clearly enough. Remember, you can use the scroll wheel on your mouse, right, to zoom in on the charts if you don't see the charts clearly enough. All right, so we're just managing this long at the moment. Not much more to do. Again, we got 3 scales. All right, now we can bring our stop to break even entry. So we got 3 scales out of that. That's on the A4 bottom left or mid bottom left. And then the discount over here on the right hand side coming up to should hit that target, which is matches up with the prior low. And again, stop management is in place. Not much more left to do for us, but just let the trade work out. How's everybody doing so far today? Kind of following the script? Yeah, John, we'll get you an answer to that Pitbull evaluation question. I'll pass that along. Yes, we're on the verge of a good opening range if this move continues. Let me bring that back into focus here, what we're talking about. All right, so we got short of crude oil, on the verge of take profit 2, and we're just on the verge of take profit 1 on the NQ. ES still has a ways to go. All right, so that's the screen on that. Oop. All right, on the A4 here and the discount, markets pulled back, and we have our stop trail elected. All right, so those trades are complete. It should be pretty clear. Yeah, the opening range trade slipped back as well, just as we came right upon the prior low. So if you recall, 65s in that area yesterday was kind of a little bit of a sticky wicket. All right, prices here, let's take a look here from yesterday. All right, you can see up here, right around those 55s into the 65 area, kind of became a sticky wicket, kind of got rejected. So it looks like a bit of a rejection again today. Cannot see the opening range trades anymore. All right, let me squeeze them up a little bit. That better in terms of the levels? They're gone altogether? Okay, hold on a second. Maybe I lost the push on them. 1 second. Okay, yeah. Okay, hold on just a second. I lost the push on them. Let me reset them. Oh, you lost everything, right? Okay, hold on a second, everyone, please. This is what happens when you're doing things live. Okay, everything should be back. Hopefully it's back for both rooms now. I reset the charts. Isn't it funny how that comes right down to your entry point? They know. They know for sure. All right, so still staying on the long side. And if you're still open on your long, just continue to manage it. There's the prior low. So that's been fulfilled. Who's in some trades? Let us know. Post them up there. Let us know what you're doing. Transparency for all. We're all trying to learn. We're all trying to learn. We're all trying to earn. All right, so crude oil beginning to hit target 2. So take profit 2. Then that completes the short of the crude oil trade. NQ on the long hit target 1. And we're still rooting for ES to hit its target 1, and that's up to the 76.50s. So if we can get that ES to fully cooperate, we'll have a trifecta on the opening range. We love those trifectas. All right. Looking to re-engage if we get a little bit of more of a discount pullback here. More bullish play would be holding above prior low, push up into the prior session. I'm sorry, prior high. My mistake. Your error, my mistake. That's the prior high. It's what I always used to say. Your error, my mistake. All right, just staying with the underlying theme, which is long in my looking to buy pullbacks, so staying with longs and manage. Not much more to talk about unless you guys have some questions. Oh, 891, right. Let's do this. All right, so far the upper edge here has remained accepted up at these prior highs. So staying up here indicates acceptance of these prices. Your structural pivot that we're referencing is around the 50s, 75.50. So keep that level in mind. and right up to the 65. So that was a number that we had yesterday, or actually throughout the week. Again, a lot of these numbers just continue to repeat. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I gotta step away for a few minutes. All right, I'll be back shortly. Carry on.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Back with you. Again, I had to step away for a short time. All right, and yeah, it looks as though we were looking for those wider rotations that we mentioned earlier. It looks like again rejection off of those prior high 65 area. Again, that was a sticky point rejection from prior sessions as well. All right, and we did get a shift here. Thank goodness for the auto trade assistance. Let me just say, I had stepped away. The auto trade assistant took our a rotational short here and put us into a nice little short trade on that reversal. Again, did not get the high reversal. All right, but we ended up getting the piece of this move as well. Anybody else catch that reversal? Did you play that reversal? Again, I was just stepped away, so. All right, everybody's quiet today. Okay, Delphine here took the reversal. Very nice, Delphine. All right. All right, Orist played the short. Okay, yeah. John South in Chile. Guess who was short on the BLT? Right. That is this particular level here. Okay, that I'm highlighting. That is the one of our one of our members trademarked namesake, the BLT. Not bacon, lettuce, and tomato either. It's referred to as the Barbara Lopez trade, and that would be her trade coming off that key high. All right, Delphine says 30 minutes after the opening is my time. We often have a reversal. Great. So Delphine, you don't take a trade until after 30 minutes after the RTH openings. You kind of wait for that first 30-minute period. So interestingly enough, let me just show you something. Go to the members area. So we actually have in the members area a document and it trade time zones. Okay, so this has been, we've had this for quite some time. And I learned these many years ago. All right, I can pass this along if you wish, if you're interested in it. All right, but we time zones. Then they're not the same as Manny's clock. All right, different kind of outline here. But anyways, it shows various time zones. I was just thought of this because of Delphine saying she doesn't trade till after that first 30 minutes. Typically, interestingly enough, zone 2, right? Trade zone 2 stated here between 10:08 and 10:12. All right, and again, this is stuff I learned when I was a market maker back in the investment banking days. All right, this particular time zone here, 10:08 to 10:12 through 10:35 to 10:45. Okay, and again, you can see here it can be one of the most powerful zones. All right, this is one of our favorite zones to trade. So it kind of along the same lines as kind of a reversal time zone. All right, this is the correct, David, for zone 2. This is my favorite timing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Super. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll pass this along to everybody. It's part of our educational material, but I'll give you, I'll pass it along. You can kind of review it. But it just got me thinking about what you were saying, Delphine. All right. And so we have a number of different other time zones as they unfold throughout the day. Okay. So I'll pass that along to everybody. Give me a chance to set up the links and such. All right. All right, let me find that file. Give me a minute or two here. All right, it's a PDF. All right, let me see if I can download it. Yeah. All right, there you go. Everybody should have access to that PDF. Trade time zones. So this is something that I put together years back. I learned some key levels from some institutional people back when I was in my market making days. And we made it part of the PTG time zones. I don't really talk about time zones as readily as say Manny does. Manny has his time zone blueprint, which is really terrific. But this is based on pretty set time periods that I know a fair amount of institutional players do adhere to. Yeah, we're getting these kind of swings that I thought we would potentially get here today. Again, we're getting these wide swings. They push it, and then they run out of steam, and they push it to the downside, run out of steam. Look what happens here again. We've talked about this yesterday. Yeah, literally right to the tick of these prior pivots. All right, another move here, another move there, right to the. Oh, look at that big. Sorry about that. Right to those pivots. And this market is very much mechanical at this stage. And of course, you get a lot of this with the with this type of kind of summertime, rotational market. Yeah, and you can see where that reversal came right into play, coming off that 10 o'clock period, and then rotation right from the 10:06, 10:04, 10:06 area time zone. All right, back to the mid. All right. So we did get an A10 play out of this one this time. All right, so a little bit for everybody here so far today in this rotation. All right, the A10 short, up top middle. We had an A4 short earlier. All right, we got 3 take profits, and we got a break-even scale out on the balance. So that's playing out for us pretty well. All right, stop, trailing stop now on this particular short trade off the A10 is break even after 2 take profits. So we're in good shape there. So Delphine, let me ask you, in terms of your 30 minutes, do you typically, is that kind of like an automatic trade for you after the 30 minutes? You're looking for a reversal trade? Is that how that works for yourself? Many times we get that type of, okay, it is. Okay, great, super, good to know. Right? Yeah, many times we get after that first 30-minute push, we get some sort of a, kind of reversal play. Unless it's a super strong, breakout play. And, if you get that strong breakout play, a true breakout, you may get kind of a little bit of a dip, but then that will get, absorbed fairly quickly. But on a more rotational day, like, we anticipated today, those 30-minute, time periods can be very effective. And the idea for me is, it's just because we're in a time window or a time period, it's not an automatic trade. Again, from when I look at things like that, I'm always needing some sort of a trigger, a structural trigger that kind of coincides, with those time periods. All right, looks like things are settling down a little bit here. Oh, okay. Yeah, structure, level, timing. Yeah, exactly. The trifecta. Today's theme, I would say flexibility, staying flexible. After everybody's had a chance, to review the various time zones and things, I'd love to get feedback from anybody. Want to provide some feedback with the various stuff that we do. That would be great. I don't trade the DAX, but Delphine, I would probably venture to say that the DAX and the ES kind of well correlated in terms of times in different structures. I don't trade the DAX, but So guys, I just posted up a link. If you're interested, later on today, there's a free Randy Howell webinar, Mastering the Source of Your Fear and Impulse in Trading. And there is the link. It is a open webinar. Randy Howell, I've worked with Randy Howell over the years myself. And he has done quite a number of wondrous things. And so it might be worthwhile to at least register. If you can't make it, you will receive a recording. So do go ahead and register for the webinar. And might be worth your while. All right, it's a one-click registration, so very easy. Yeah, and if you can't make it, you know, for whatever reason, time zone restrictions and so forth, you will receive the recording. It's one thing I think we all need to work on is our mindset, our psychological health in trading. We all have demons. Don't think we don't. Call them what you want. Most people call them demons, not in the religious sense or anything, but just, you know, in that psychological sense. And if you don't think you have demons, then you're kidding yourself, particularly when it comes to trading. And you'll never slay them. You can only manage them. So Randy Howell has wonderful techniques on how to identify the source, being able to manage them, the tools to be able to manage them. So check in that webinar. It should be at least informative. And by the way, I get nothing from this. So I am a client of his, full disclosure. He's done wonders for me in many areas. I still have lots of work to do for my own self. He has helped many a trader out there. He has loads and loads of experience working with traders. Yeah, totally. Learning this is all mental. Exactly, Philly D. I mean, again, you need to have a strategy. You need to have methodology. You know, you need to have all that good stuff. But you could have the best, you know, strategy and thing in the world. But if you have trouble executing it and being consistent in executing it, particularly during drawdowns, yeah, it can be challenging. So you need to have the adequate tools to be able to combat that stuff. And again, Randy Howell can certainly help you. Yeah, the lunatic in the head, right? All right. So in terms of the programming here today, I will be cutting out around near to 11 o'clock, just probably in another 5 minutes or so. I believe Niels will be coming on at 11 a.m. Eastern time here. Niels is the developer, trader developer, manager of the Delta Trader platform that he developed. And so I believe he's coming on at 11. He's located in Europe. And so he'll be coming on for probably an hour or so. I'm not sure exactly how long, but so stick around. Neil's a very good person, very good trader. And again, I'm sure he'll explain his Delta Trader platform. So stick around for that. That should be coming up momentarily. E-mini sniper asks David, cycle day one, how will be important for the rest of 2-day cycles? So again, the premise here of the cycle day one is to establish a low. That is the core. From that point on, it just acts as the base reference point, right, for the cycle. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were in a bit earlier, Sniper, but yesterday we had the decline, right, which established actually. So down in this zone here, this white line here, okay, this is the average decline projection, okay, for a cycle day one. Now, yesterday was a cycle day three, all right, but typically coming off cycle day three, that's when declines can actually begin. So that decline yesterday pushed all the way down to that cycle day one projected low. Now, it's not the cycle day one low yet because we're currently on cycle day one, right? So yesterday that acted as the reference area, the range low from which the market rallied. And that's where we are today. So kind of in a sense, you know, maybe it was because of the holiday, don't really know. But and again, today's low right now, which is at 1625, it's not the final cycle day one low, but it is current cycle day one low. So the cycle day one low acts as you know, kind of the baseline, right, for you know, the staging of the, you know, the current rally. So if this holds, let's just say this 16 quarter actually becomes cycle day one low, so that becomes the new reference. All right, from that point on, we would want to see the market, you know, continue to move higher, perhaps test these highs up here, the upper edge of the, you know, the near those 7600s, right? And again, that would be bring us into cycle two. Cycle two, typically we could get some backing and filling, and then we would look for some sort of a continuation up into a cycle day three. Again, that's kind of the ideal, you know, template. But basically, the cycle day one low, if this turns out to be that, acts as that baseline. Does that make sense? Okay. But again, the market kind of responded at this projected low here, which would, like, if this was a normal cycle day one yesterday, cycle day three, if that was a cycle day one, it would have met the projection of an average decline. Though it happened yesterday, which can happen, the market reached that during RTH and then began the rally. So, you know, is this more of the valid cycle day one level to reference? I would also reference this level, by the way. Okay. kind of an interpretation of the cycle, right? It's not like flipping a light on and off. You know, it has to be this way every single day. There's a bit of interpretation that goes along with it. But if the 16 quarters becomes the true cycle day one low, right, now put a question mark there, okay, that would be the baseline reference. But I would also star this low down here, 67s, because it actually hit the projection. So one could then say, kind of looking at it this way, more in a zonal capacity, right? Zonal for support or key zone, right? So kind of key zonal support. So sometimes you kind of need to take a couple different levels and then create that zone, because the market isn't just one level. Never is, never will be. It's always zonal. So when we combine these, you know, the analysis, right? Then we have a bit more flexibility, right, as the market unfolds. Okay. So even if we are in a new cycle, but the cycle day 3 low key level of the current cycle, right? So again, whatever the current cycle low turns out to be, let's just say, assuming it's 16 quarter here, that will be the reference for the 3-day cycle statistic. Yes, if that's what you're asking. I think that's what you're asking. All right. We'll continue to go over this. If you have questions, even if I'm not presenting, all right. Well, in terms of the highs, so right now, and this will change, but right now, what you would want to reference for targets would be 76.08s up to about the 31.32s. That's the 3-day cycle projection targets. Okay. So here's the scenario, and I'm going to pass the baton over to Niels here in a moment. If this cycle one holds 16 quarter for the next couple days, we would be looking for 76.08 up through about the 32s as projected targets. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, I will leave it there. I'm going to pass the baton over to Niels. Niels has just joined up with us. So stick around. I'm sure Niels will be talking about his Delta Trader platform. And that will be it for me today. Again, thanks for your attendance. And we'll pass the baton over to you, Niels. Let me just shut my projection down, and we'll pass that over to you. All right, have a great day, everyone.
Hey guys, how's it going? Can you hear me? I see the image seems a little bit distorted. I'm like a square now, which is fine, but you know. Cool. So Marlon, I don't know if you're around. Am I supposed to stream here or in the other room for the stream? I'm not sure. Cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't feeling too well this morning. I woke up with like I woke up a little bit dizzy, and that happens more often since the last, I don't know, 10 years or something. And they first thought it was like Meniere's disease or something like that. So sometimes I just wake up like with like no sense of, like I don't know if you guys know what it is, but like it's if you move your head, like everything is spinning. So not amazing, but I didn't want to cancel the stream because it's been a while I was on, but I'm not gonna make it too long, I guess. But nice background. Yeah, thanks. It took a while to set it up, and then I ended up almost never streaming again. I'm like, it's so funny. But yeah, I'm just really busy with trading myself lately, and that's one of the reasons actually that I haven't been streaming much. And I'm just too focused on trading myself, and I don't like to live stream and trade at the same time. It's very distracting for me, and yeah, so sorry about that. Maybe one day I'll get better at that, but now is not the day. So that's why I coming on a little bit later, but I hope that's okay. Yeah, so I have been busy actually also with my platform, and yeah, right, David. It's a lot. Like it's a lot, guys. So because I don't know how it is for you guys, but like if I trade, like usually I trade like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or from the open, do a little bit of 20-minute prep before, but usually I'm done within an hour, right? But it feels for me like I'm trading like it's a full work day for me. Like it feels like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm just losing focus and tired and trying just to relax after that. So it's a lot. Anyway, so now I just now I still have energy because I didn't trade this morning because I'm not feeling good. But anyway, a little bit of a backstory, I guess. So about the platform that I created a few years ago already, but yeah, I haven't really been pushing it at all because I'm just using it for my own trading. But we did rebrand just today. We released it today, and we're going back to Trader, so TRADRR. And I know Marlene didn't like it because I know it's a misspelling. I know. It's just how we started doing it a few years ago already now. And yeah, I'm just not gonna care about it anymore. Like if it's good for SEO, things like that. This is gonna be the brand. This is gonna be the name, and this is gonna be it. And if it sells or not, I honestly I don't care that much anymore at this point. So yeah, so I made a decision to just brand it back to Trader. So you guys just have to deal with it, or not. You can. That's fine. You can click this window away and then never come back. All good. But yeah. Anyway, we added a few new features. One of them was like a requested feature that you can do. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger. You can show the volume profiles below the bars instead of on top. I kind of like to have it on top because it's like the volume profile is what you want to see, and the the candles are kind of secondary. But okay, to be fair, like it looks maybe cleaner, but yeah. Anyway, that's what we did. We have a new chart trader. Well, you can choose now. So we had the buy and sell columns, what you maybe are used to or know from TT. So you can just add a. We don't need that now. Order right now. Let me turn up the sound. Sounds. And yeah, we changed a little bit the look of the orders. So you can still move them and everything. Everything works, and you can see them. It's synced, and if you're using the same account. yeah, so that's what we changed. What else did we do? Oh, right. So yeah, so you can now do it with the right click also. So if you don't want to click this bar, you can either turn it off or also leave it on, and then do the right click and do a sell from here. I think that's pretty handy. To be fair, I kind of didn't listen to. Maybe I was a little bit stubborn listening to feedback, but honestly, this is kind of nice. And also because I'm trading less lately from the dome, because I don't know if you guys noticed, the market has been a little bit nuts, at least to me, and well, I'm pretty sure also for you. But anyway, I'm using the dome less and less because the book is so empty and the moves are like crazy. So I'm looking at the bigger orders, yes, looking at the bigger orders. But to be fair, I try to trade from this chart a little bit more right now. And yeah, it's tough to read the dome at this point. Yeah, it used to be better, like 5-6 years ago. It was easier, but lately, yeah, honestly, it's just I don't know. I cannot make much of it anymore. It's a bit sad, but market changes all the time. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been through a few cycles, so it keeps changing, and now it's also changing, and the change especially happened in the last couple months, I'd say, right now. And yeah, it's just what it is. You have to adapt and continue. And yeah, chart trading. Yeah, I can see that right now, David, but I was always very set on trading just from the dome. Yeah. So, but anyway, I kind of like it, honestly, because I can. Oh, you were also a big dome trader. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So then, okay, yeah, then we had the same journey, sort of. I was maybe a little bit later with adapting to it, but yeah, but still, yeah, like you can still use both, right? So let's say if you put in a sell order here, you can still see them in the dome. And you can still, if you want to do it, you can still move it below the big order, but I still do that because, it just means you get your fills a little bit quicker. Because like here, if you want to get your fill for sure, you want to move it below the 121 order, right? So it might stick there a little bit. Oh, I don't want that. But it might, have a tiny bit of resistance, although I don't know right now. But yeah, it's always, bigger orders. Well, it's just a given, right? Bigger orders take more effort to go through, but yeah, with how empty the book is lately, yeah, I don't know, that still really matters, unless it's like a 1K lot, which we used to see a lot, back in the days. Yeah, now it's just very rare to see a 1K lot in the book. But anyway, all good. So yeah, being busy. So we also have workspace sharing right now, so you can share your workspace with other people. So a lot of people have asked me like, hey, yeah, the default workspace is kind of, it's simple, I know. And people see this chart, and some are like overwhelmed by this, but some are like, oh, that looks cool. So I can now share the oh, you guys don't see the pop-up, but there's a pop-up with pops up a link, and you can share the link with anyone, and they can just import your workspace, and I think that's pretty cool. What else did we do? We do quite a lot, actually. We have account filtering, things like that. We actually, the biggest one is probably the zone decoder AI. So as you can see here, it plots zones automatically, and it will create new ones as well, as long as the market keeps moving. And yeah, it's been pretty good for me. It's not super short term per se, because you can see also there's a zone here, but they're for me they're pretty good, and it's something that I've been working on a long time. It's something that I also had as a manual, well, not manual, as a static version, like from like, what is it, like 8 years ago, something like that, for Ninja Trader. But yeah, we adapted it now, of course, with the AI. It gets a little bit more flexible. So I think that's pretty cool. And we're almost at the zone, actually. So the zone is around like 74s. What is it? 70 starts from 72s. So let's see. Hopefully we get there and we get the reaction there. Yeah, but not expecting that really, but anyway, who knows? And for the rest, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just doing mine. Just try to do my thing, like try to not to be too long in the market, because I still, for me, it's still too volatile. Like I have to adjust my stops a lot, and yeah, I don't like that very much. So instead of like doing a 3 to 5 point stop, I need to do like a 7-8 point stop, and it's really uncomfortable for me. Of course, your targets are also bigger, but still, it's just I'm still adapting, and that's fine, I guess. I mean, it takes time. People don't like change, neither do I. So it'll take some time, but we'll get there, and we have to get there, because I'm getting stopped out way too often. So you kind of are forced to do that. Anyway, so yeah, if you don't adapt, it will soon you have to adapt because it will cost too much money, right? So yeah, so we're doing that. Yeah, with the zone decoder, it also adjusts to volatility and things like that. So it's kind of cool. So I'm going to use that more as a little bit of I say that like a guide to me, like how the day is developing, things like that, because it calculates on volume profiles, structure of the market, things like that, and adjust according to what's changing and whatnot. So yeah, kind of exciting for me to launch that today. Oh, with that, so we do have a offer then. Yes, I don't want to turn into the sales guys. I hate it, but we do have an offer because I think it's just very cool, and I think it's just very useful, and you will earn it back. But yeah, no guarantees, of course, but I think it's very good, and yeah, I'm using it myself as well, and I think it's just yeah. We hit the zone almost for a little bit more, close enough. But yeah, you know what I mean, right, David? Like, it's horrible to be that sales guy, but if it's things that actually help traders, I kind of can get over it, sort of, a little bit, maybe. But yeah, anyway, mostly because I'm using it myself, right? Otherwise, I would never even talk about it, I guess. But yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just we're traders. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I should hire people to do that, but anyway, I don't know. They don't know the product that well. But yeah, what else? I mean, I can talk a little bit of the market, but I don't know. Let me know if you guys have questions. I don't know. Is anyone listening really, like except David? But yeah, I mean, I can talk about anything really. Oh, right. The offer. What's the offer? Yeah, that's a good question. So the offer is $4.99 lifetime. Yeah, I think that's amazing. So there's $4.99 lifetime for the platform, and there's also if you want to have the add-on for the zone decoder, it's also $4.99 lifetime. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And there's a money back guarantee. So if you really hate it, then I'll just get your money back because I don't want your money if you don't like it. So yeah, all good on that end. What else? Yeah. No, so we have a money back guarantee because my experiences with free trials is that people just get it and don't even look at it, and I spend time getting back to them and like asking them like, hey, I just don't like it. If you want it, you can buy it, and I'll happily give your money back if you don't like it. So yeah. Yeah, I've done free trials and it's like I've like couple hundred people signing up, every month, and then they don't do anything with it. I'm like, yeah, like don't waste my time, I have better things to do. So yeah, yeah, exactly. But if you don't want to take it, fine with me. Yeah, if you take it, I will happily help you for sure, and yeah. I'll also be happy to share my workspace with you if you want that, or help you build a workspace. All good. Happy to help people that are interested and invested in it, and want to spend time learning this or get better. but yeah, I don't really want to waste my time. People that are like, like whatever, like, yeah, no, thank you. So a payment, no, it's just no, because I think it's $4.99. I think it's low enough for to do it as a one-time. If people, yeah, it's a one-time fee, so yeah, if you're really tight with money, I mean, I can think about it, but honestly, if $4.99 is tight for you, I think you should save on money and just not trade for a bit. Just yeah. Well, that's my personal opinion, but but anyway. Yeah, yes, that's true actually. So not the zone decoder, but you can get if you have a Pitbull account, yeah, you can get Delta Trader, as a trader. Give me a while, guys. Just rebranded, but yeah, you can get Trader for free. That's true, actually. Yeah, that's true. Forgot about that. Yeah, that is true. And yeah, guys, I mean, you have any questions about the market or anything you want to talk about? I think I talked enough about the product. But to be fair, I do really like the chart trading like this. It's fast, and you can do all kind of settings and whatnot. And what else can you do? Let me see. What did I do? Chart trading. Yeah, you can do the offset, of course, things like that. If you want to have a little bit further, it's actually nicer, I guess. But yeah. Let's see. I mean, if you're gonna sell it, like, as a nice, bracket view. Yeah, you can show points, you can show currency. If you prefer that, I think I prefer points because I don't want to really see how much I'm down. But yeah, we can make it 2 points, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of nice, I guess. Yeah, you can see it also in the dome, of course, the orders. What else? Come on, guys, dump it. A tiny bit more. Yeah, thank you. Okay, 2 points. So yeah, there was a little bit of a short close to the zone decoder zone, right? So a little bit 2 point scalp. Can you zoom in and explain the dome fields? Yeah, I think I can zoom in. Let me see if that doesn't screw up the stream though. The share. Let me try to do that. It might screw it up actually. Let me see if I can do that. Is it working? Okay. I hope it's working. Oh, you can zoom too. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm trying to zoom now. So I think the zoom is working actually now. Is it? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so the dome fields. So of course, these are the bids, the actual bids in the market. And then we have here the offers. And then right of the bids there as the last traded quantities, is actually what's traded right now. And inside here is the contracts traded per site. It's kind of like a mini footprint chart, sort of. And so you can clearly see when like volume is like, when they're hitting some more volume, like what they're doing right now. You can see here some 200s, 250, 276, things like that. And that means there's a little bit more interest here in trading there. And yeah, that's mostly interesting lately as well because the order book is so empty, right? Yeah, there's aggregate. Yeah, exactly. So they will reset after a time that you can set yourself. But you can see here the 450 order coming in, right? So So yeah, it's pushing. I think it's pushing it down a little bit. It's probably still want to get filled, because usually, unless they dump market after, but usually they want to, they want to get their fill. Let's see, where is that? Okay. Yeah, so those aggregate, and then you can reset it also. You can, if you, for example, like if you can clear it automatically if you're in a trade, so it resets now, so you can see what happens after. This is very zoomed in, guys. So this is very, like, if you're, this is only handy if you're already used to it, or want to really dive into it. But this is very, very, very detailed. Here we go. Yeah, filled that 450. I think I can. I probably can fill it. But wait, did it move? No, 68. Okay. They should, right? But anyway, that's the thing why I front run the big order. I always go 1 or 2 ticks below it, because it guarantees kind of your fill, even though I think it moved up. So it's like, oh no, I don't want it. It moved up. So it went from 68 to 70, which is very interesting. So, and that's actually, you can see that, right? So now it didn't fill, because you can see the volume doesn't it's spoofers. Yeah, exactly, it's spoofers. And they say it's illegal, but yeah, they still do it. I mean, it's just like, I think the rule is very, very generous. I think it needs to be in the book for at least a second or something, and that's, for spoofers, it's very long. It doesn't, yeah. Anyway, but or they just, when it's getting close, they just quickly remove it, so they know they're not getting their fill. So yeah, so it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't know, they still do it. But legally, I guess you cannot call it spoofing anymore. But unofficial, they still do it. Let's see if they want it now. No, it's 70. That's kind of funny. But yeah, that's kind of nice to see. That's still nice to see of the dome, right? So yeah, it's a cat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a cat and mouse game. Yeah. Yeah. Here they go. Yeah, some more volume here. Oh, they removed it again. Getting up higher. You're at 70, 72s and 73s. I'm guessing maybe hoping for like a flush up, maybe to fill. I don't know. Could be. But yeah. Let me go back to normal view. Yeah. Yeah. Back. But yeah. But this kind of looks like they just, try to, get some pressure down, and then just get some fills lower, and then, just remove their offers as soon as they're close to their fill. This one is still there, so it might actually fill now. Yep, it's filling. Yep, it's filled. Yeah, so I think they really want their fill here right now. And the other one canceled. Yeah, it canceled. Didn't fill. Yeah, see, you don't see any 400 traded right here, so it cannot cancel. Right, so one of them filled at 72s, but the other one didn't. But they might run some algo, right? So with one lots or something bursting, so you won't see it, but you can still see it if the total here gets more than 400, right? So yeah, that's another way to do it. Like here, they could even offer in. So if they really want to hide it, they will hide it. If they want you to see it, you will see it. So that's kind of that's how I see it. Like, if they don't want you to see it, they will just use an algo that bursts one lots, or 2 lots, whatever, and you won't see it, or an iceberg. But icebergs are pretty obvious also, But oh, here we have 1,000 lot. There we go, 77s. Okay, cool. Yeah, so might be running into a little bit of a hiccup here, I think, but. Okay, so we're a little bit stronger now than at this point than NQ here, but yeah. So I don't know. I could see something kind of being some kind of resistance at here, which coincides with, you know, the zone encoder at, like, you know, top upper end at, like, what is it, 80? No, I think, hold on, I lost that because the zooming, I lost at 77. Yeah, the upper zone of the zone encoder at 77. So that coincides with the big order here. So I guess they already bought the zone encoder, you know. So yeah, upper level is there, guys. Let's sell it. But yeah, they're executing some volume here. That's interesting. Still kind of, you know, in an uptrend, of course. So, you know, there's no need to dump into it yet. You know, it's still moving up. But yeah, there's clearly some big orders here that could cause some potential resistance, right? But yeah, you got to be careful with that line nowadays, because before you know it, it's 10 points higher. Can you designate the dome ladder settings 10 deep, 20 deep? I'm not sure what you mean. You can change the book size to whatever. Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, this is with Rhythmic, right? So I have unlimited book, unlimited depth, so I can choose to what I set it to. So I like to see a little bit ahead, so I have it like probably like I have 50 levels or something showing. Yeah, with Rhythmic it's unlimited, so I can set it to unlimited too. But yeah, I'm good with like 50 levels. I don't know how many levels. 50, yeah, 50 market depth, 50. But I can change that myself. Basically, I have unlimited. Yeah, most domes have 10 deep. Yeah, true. Yeah, no, but this you can render unlimited if you want to. I probably wouldn't, but you know, can only slow down your platform if you have to render 1,000 levels. But 50 is okay. I generally use 50, so I can, like, you know, 50 is like 50 levels is probably, you know, like what is it, 74 to like 68, like 12 points up and down or something. Yeah. That's a good question. So we actually, we did create that as well. So it's in beta, but there is a book map over here that you can add. And I have to tweak the settings a little bit, but as you can see, it plots the zones. Max size over here. It won't have historical levels. It does save it if you refresh, though. Wait, what's the size now? Around 70 or something. So now you can, yeah. So we do, yeah. That's a good. Thanks for saying that, David. Yeah, that's something also that we added. Yeah, it's basically a book map. Yeah, that's something too, actually. Yeah. Can you guys see it, or is it too small? From the government, you know. Thanks. No, to be fair, I totally forgot about it. Like, I was mostly focusing on the zone decoder, right? Because yeah, that's been the biggest project. But yeah, we did. We happened to add a book map as a book map variant as well, and we call it a liquidity map. So yeah, we have we have added that too. Yeah. And also a bubbles, you know, the big trades. Let me filter a little bit. How you do that? Let me tweak the settings a little bit, guys. Max min volume to 50, 300. Yeah, so with bubbles, we have also bubbles. You know, so you can blow bubbles now, and you can watch the liquidity. So it's amazing. Yeah, that's something we added as well, actually. Yeah, and then you just, you know, go ahead, tweak the settings a little bit yourself, depending on what you trade. You know, because the settings depends a little bit on the product you trade and maybe the time frame, things like that. But yeah. So we have the two. Yeah, so if you want to really hone in through that big levels, you can just filter. Oh wait, this is the big trace. And then the liquidity map. Yeah, so if you just filter it onto 50s, you can only see the big ones. And you know the big ones that you see here in the dome? Can you guys see my mouse? Yeah. The big ones that you see here, the 3 ones, you can see those here. Those are over here, right? So you can see them in the in the chart. And actually, this might render the whole dome useless right now. I can just plot it in my chart. I can just close. I can just close down the dome. Actually, it might not be too bad. But anyway, any additional price increase as the new feature? No, it's all included. No, it's all included. So it's all included except the zone decoder. That's going to be an add-on, and the rest is all just going to be part of the platform. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not too bad, right? Yeah. Yeah, the bubbles are not so bad actually. Yeah, to be honest, like I've done so much, like I've been testing a lot, things like that, and kind of forgot about it. But no, I'm most excited about the zone decoder because you can see here at the high, we hit the high here, and it's not pulling back a lot yet, but like it's having some resistance here. Well, it can change in a second with this market, but anyway, yeah, there's clearly some resistance here. Yeah, no, true. It's the big prints. Yeah, no, it's useful. True. It's yeah, it can be useful. Yeah, but I used to watch it in the dome already, right? You can see in the dome where the big trades happen. Like I said, like if you see the big numbers here going on, that's already a little bit where the bubbles also would be, right? So it's kind of in that way. Like that's kind of similar. Just a different way of showing it, And to be fair, the visual bubbles might be a little bit easier, maybe, perhaps, but yeah. But I'm looking at the dome already for more than 10 years, more than 15 years. So it's, I'm just used to it. But yeah, like I said, we need to adapt, and this might be the adaptation that I need. To look at bubbles instead of numbers. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I hope we're gonna get a little bit of rejection here. It would be nice, because that's exactly where the zone decoder was, guys. And you guys have seen it, right? It was there before it traded there. It was there before it was already printed there since yesterday already, but like when it was like 67s, I think, something like that, when it was here. And yeah, it's right. I'm just super excited about this one. It's so nice. Yeah, right into the zone, a little bit of pullback, and not that much yet, but it's getting there. It should be a little bit more. ideally back to IB high, but yeah. Yeah, thanks, David. Yeah, and the next significant bit is only here, right? What is it? 62 something, 61, yeah, 62, 61, yeah. So yeah, if they're really nice, they just dump it straight to 62s. Probably not, but who knows? Who knows nowadays, right? Possible. It's possible. But it's a very controlled down move here. This is not really a clean move, right? So yeah, it's a pullback, but it's minor. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So when the zone gets like dashed, it means it hit the level. It clearly did here, so it's kind of nice. What else? You can see the volume buildup as well in the footprint, right? So you can see the buildup here. And still, yeah, if you have took the zone with the bubbles, let's say you had a bad entry and you're like 70, 74s. Yeah, you still 4 points maximum. Okay, not that much yet, but it's getting there. Yeah. What else? I don't know, guys. I'm heading back to bed, I think, in a bit. To be fair, if I move my head, it's like it's not that bad anymore. But took some medicine and then just gonna chill the rest of the day. But I was gonna go on a run this morning, but I woke up and I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. No, so yeah, had some friends walking my dog. I was like, yeah, I'll just chill a little bit. Yeah, guys. So oh, there's a big order again here. 72 is back. The one at 72 is back. Does he want to get a fill? Let's see. Let's reset this one. Yeah, guys, do you have questions? Oh, it canceled. It canceled. You see? That's why you want to see if they're actually traded or not. So the big order here, the 450, it was here for a bit and then canceled. So it's definitely spoofing. No, definitely spoofing. See, because here in what's actually traded, there's no 400 contracts. So I didn't execute. It did not execute. Bastards. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, I normally just trade, the first hour. So I'm at this point, I'm not really interested anymore anyway. It would be interesting though to just let the chart run, and then have the liquidity map levels just form, and it might be interesting. If like 50 people of you buy the lifetime license, I will look into get a a replay feed built in, so you can pull up the historical levels. Oh, Danny's calling me. Danny, I'm on the stream. I'll call you back in a bit. Oh yeah, I'll type in my email address. It's just Niels@trader.com. I don't know what I should do without you, David. Like, thanks for helping out. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun journey, guys. Trading. Yeah, and and of course you can connect your Pitbull account with a trader if you choose Rhythmic. So yeah, that will work perfectly. Yeah, trading is lonely. Yeah, I mean that's yeah, true. True and not. Like, I've met so many people that I know through trading and that I also now met in real life. It's yeah, it's kind of interesting, and it's nice to talk to people that trade, right? Because like people that don't trade, like it's so far from what they understand or like what you talk about, or like even like money wise, right? Like it's very hard, I think, to comprehend that. Yeah, the way it can take shape for you, and yeah, it's I think it's very hard if you don't trade how to really understand what's going on, and yeah, I don't know, it's just at least that's what I've noticed. Like, yeah, and I have a lot of people like asking me like, hey, can you trade for me? Like, I have $1,000. Can you double it for me? I'm like, what? No. Yeah, so yeah, it's funny, and yeah, so it's definitely nice to have some people around you that also trade, and which why why there's the pit, right, and the Iron Pro, and yeah, which is very nice, I think, and I have been very active in it, and lately I'm just a little bit more by myself, but by choice. And I'm running a lot lately because I'm training for the Athens Marathon. So yeah, I'm gonna do that first marathon ever also. So wish me luck, you know. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see what Denny's saying. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can run the charts a little bit for people just want to see it. But like I said, I'm not gonna trade anymore. But yeah, if you guys have questions, 17 years of experience here, and David even more, I think. So shoot away. Yeah. No, but I'm quite happy with the updates from the platform. It's kind of nice. Yeah, thanks for mentioning the book map thing. Yeah, it's looking actually pretty useful, especially with the trades printed. It's kind of nice. And it should save it if you refresh the browser, because I'm running this in my browser, right? So this is not a well, we have a Windows app and a Mac OS app, but right now I'm just running it in my browser. So yeah, which I think is pretty nice. And I used to be a little bit against that. I was like, no, I know I'm a professional trader, like or like professional, like a serious trader. Like I shouldn't run that in my browser, really. But no, I love it. It's funny how that changed. Like yeah, I don't care. It just runs just as fast as in the Mac OS app. I'm running it on MacBook, and yeah, it's pretty cool how technology has improved the last years or decade, really. Yeah, so it's nice. Oh, here goes the big orders. Let's go. So one canceled. You see, and one did cancel, and two are still in there. And I'm probably gonna make a little bit of a. Yep. Here goes the. See, big trades to fill that order. Let me try to zoom in because this is kind of interesting. Can I zoom? No. Yeah. Here. You see the big trades to fill that order, right? And this one is still here, and this one canceled. So, it's kind of nice to see, actually. Yeah. Oh, it's back. Here, it's back. I'll take higher. Okay, see again. Whoop. Where is it? Can we see that in the order book? Yep, it's back. One tick higher now. But it's now an 800 lot. So nice. Cool. Yeah. Well, if there's no questions, I'm gonna let the charts run for a bit. If you guys want to take a look. But let me know if you have any questions, and then I'll show my face again. But for now, I'm gonna get some water and take my medicine again, I think, and yeah, be right back. All right, guys, we're back. I might not say too much, but depending on what happens in the market, yeah, feel free to also ask any questions. Yeah. Honestly, I've been tweaking the liquidity map a little bit. Honestly, I'm kind of more excited about it than I was. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll stick around. I'll stick around. I'm not doing anything anyway, but took my medicine against the spinning. Special offer. Don't miss it, guys. Well, yeah. Well, actually, I have one too. You mean talking about Pitbull, I guess, but I have we just set up I think the website is just live right now. Let me check. Yeah. Yep, it's live. Yeah, so this is the yeah. It's called Trader now. We just rebranded, David. I know it's going to take a couple weeks maybe to adjust. Trader, TRADRR, trader.com. It is here. This is their website. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow. Nice. That is cool. So, okay, that's a pretty good deal, actually. So, yeah, here's the lifetime deal, guys. So that's pretty cool. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I think you guys should take it. Drink some water. Do you guys notice, by the way, like this is like a self-cleaning bottle. Maybe you guys know it. It's like the lark bottle. It can measure your intake, and you do water cleaning in the bottle with UV cleaning and whatnot. It's kind of nice. Yeah, exactly. Man, I hate it. I'm still turning into that sales guy, David. I should let anyone someone else do this, but my dog. I'll bring my dog here. Might be better. Funny. Yeah. No, I think it's too hot here. I'm upstairs here, and yeah, it's definitely hotter here. It's very hot here. Like I'm in Portugal, and there's a little bit of a heat wave going on, and I think right now it's actually finally getting a little bit less, but upstairs it's still. I should open up the windows actually, but yeah, it's been very hot lately. Like I think the last few days we had like, what is that in Fahrenheit? Like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's a little bit too much for me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you? Okay, cool. Let me see. I think the 150K account needs to go through David. I'm not sure how to do that, but I can figure it out if I need to, though. Let me see. Very cool. Nice. I see you in the system. Cool. Yeah. Let me know if you need any help with setting it up. And or if there are any some leftovers from the Delta Trader brand, because I think we fixed everything. Moving it over to, well, moving it back to Trader, actually, because that was the initial name. But yeah, cool. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, happy to help you out. Oris, what do you mainly trade? Is it NQ or ES or anything else? Okay, cool, nice, very nice. Well, market's kind of stalling here. I mean, it's also lunchtime, right? So it's like, not much happening. And I'm gonna work to extend the current levels a little bit more, I think, from the liquidity map, so you can see better when it's canceled or still valid. Maybe extend it like a couple bars. Yeah, let me make a note for the def. Well, might be nice. Yeah, cool. But anyway, guys, like you can see at the top, right, we had that buyers, and then it kind of stopped. We didn't go higher. There one little sell. They marked it back up, but now it's just kind of drifting. Well, it's mostly sideways, honestly. Because to be fair, they can rip it up back in a second. But it's mostly just calm lunch hour trade. But for me, this would be good enough of a trade already, because I scalp mainly. But yeah. And I have set up the charts as a fixed value. So when I can make it a little bit better, I guess, like a little bit bigger, 6.7. Because I always want to see, like how much the market actually moves. And if you have your chart on an automatic scale, if your chart is on an automatic scale, it's very hard to see sometimes like how much it actually moved. You can see it in comparison to the day, but you cannot really see it that well in comparison to with like normal moves. So I always I have this chart here on the top right list and the footprint chart always on a fixed level. So it's always a fixed height. So I always know if it's a large move. I always know like, oh, this is like 10 points, or and if your chart is an automatic, that same move could be 20 points lately now, right? Something like that. So it's just very, oh, here we go. You're moving up, That's what I'm saying. Like lunchtime hour, book is empty, easy to move it up. And we still got that big order at 82s here. Where is it? Yeah. So Niels, can you describe how you would trade these type of structures? I know you. Yeah, so I wouldn't trade this structure. I would only trade the open pretty much, but yeah. Let me maybe just move back to the open, I guess. Let me see. Where's the open? Here, right? Yeah, around here. Yeah, so well, first of all, I probably would have missed the long here. But then if I was waiting for a pullback, I usually wait for a pullback into volume. And let me see how the developing VPSC was. It went from 56. Yeah, so this would have been an interesting level, to hold, because it's VPSC level. But I'm lately a little bit careful about going long that high, because they often smack it back down. But yeah, so I'm not sure if I would have traded that well here. I think I might have tried, because you can see the volume here, right? The volume build up here, and then trying, failing here, and then trying. I might have tried to take that short though, and then I probably would have exited already here at the VPSC. So that would, let's say if I was a little bit late, I would have maybe 62s to like 52s. Well, that's 10 points actually, so that's pretty good. But or VWAP. I would scale out at the VPSC, and then have my target at VWAP. So so I would have been flat around here for sure. If I already had the balls to hold it that long. But no, I probably would not have let it run to all the way here, I think. Unless I trailed it and it for some reason didn't take me out. But if I do that, it always takes back and takes me out. So yeah, it's kind of pointless. But I would trail it down. Let's say if I scaled out, I would trail it down to like this high here. If it was here, I would trail it down to this high level here on the little pullback. And then yeah, that's probably I would do it. No. And then if you were to take a long, like this is settlement, right? So settlement is always an important area, right? So the previous close. Normally I like to try that because it works kind of good lately. And then I would still target a VWAP, which is yours. Well, to be fair, it's a bit easy to say no, because you can see it working clearly, right? So it's yeah, it's kind of a hindsight trader is never wrong, right? So, but yeah, anyway, it's still VWAP. It did hit that, so it's kind of nice. Then yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that would be kind of it. I think for me, like here, the retest to VWAP. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have tried that, but yeah, it did work. So VWAP, holding above VWAP. Here again, VWAP tests moved up. Here's some imbalance that you could have maybe taken. I don't know. I probably would not have taken that, to be fair, but yeah. But anyway, those are normally things that I look for, like VWAP, settlement, HVNs. Yeah. Yeah, delta per bar you can also add. If you go to the indicators and then go to bar stats, then yeah, you can add it to the bottom of the bar on the footprint at least. And you can also add it to. You can also add a volume breakdown. So it's more like an extra candlestick thing, right? So here, if you do it at the bottom, let me pull the chart up a little bit to the. Let me do that for you here. So you can add it to the bottom pane, and this is like the shows you, it plots like the delta differences, right? So you can see we're moving up, but delta is not really agreeing with it, honestly. So it's you know, it's not a super sustainable move, I'd say. You can say that. But yeah, you can clearly see they're selling. Yeah, that would be another way to show the delta. What do you mean delta efficiency? I don't know what delta efficiency is. Yeah, but yeah, you can show that. And yeah, so the different ways to delta divided by two. Okay, percentage, delta percentages. Yes, you can also show that, I think. Let's see, delta percentage day. Delta. There's a lot of things that you can show. Delta percent. I think it's that one probably. Yeah, per bar. Yeah, this is one, I think. But there's a bunch that you can show. Cell percentage volume. Renko we don't have yet. It's in beta though, but it's a while already in beta. I'm not sure what the status is currently. I can ask for you. But myself, usually I just use reversal bars, and I would argue if you look at volume profiles, it's better than Renko or range. But yeah, but I can take a look for you for that. But yeah. Oh, you don't know it. Oh, that's okay. I think it's better than both of that what you named. So reversal bars, it keeps creating the same bar unless it goes in the opposite way of what it formed. So like right now you can see the bar is going up, right? So in this case, it's a 16 tick reversal bar. And so unless it goes down 16 ticks or more, so 4 points in the ES, it won't create a new bar. So it keeps building the same bar up unless it's pulling back 16 tick or 4 points or more. And for me, that's the best way to reduce noise, because like with Renko and with range, you still have a lot of bars, but they're not really telling that much in my personal opinion, right? So yeah, I think if you look at volume footprint charts and things like that, I think reversal bars are the way to go. But yeah, check it out and let me know if you agree. But yeah, that's the main reason why we're now mainly focused on reversal bars and not on range or Renko. So now there's another big order at 85. All right. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, so you can choose it over here, right? So you open up the bar on the side here, the menu, and you can choose the reversal bars here, or you can add your own setting. What do you prefer? Wait, what do you prefer? Come to volume delta and or delta difference. So I don't look at delta at all in the footprint chart. I might look at it in the here in a bigger chart. And then my settings are, I think, the default settings. So delta bit ask and volume, and then accumulate session. Accumulate session here. Attract single prints and balance. Yeah. So you can see those kind of easily in the footprint chart. Like here, you can see the green numbers. Those are imbalances. you know, here, and here. The green and red, those are imbalances, buy imbalances, sell imbalances, and that's here also where the stop, right? So the pullback. So those are the imbalances. Yeah, same here. And then you can kind of already know because the volume profile is super thin here, you know. Yeah, so that's how I look at it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so the point of control is the orange boxes here. So the orange boxes are the VPOC, and there's an orange one, like a big. That's the biggest VPOC that you can see in this view. So if you scroll down, you will see another orange orange bar because it moves with the chart. So if you go here, this one right now in this view. This one is the biggest over here. That's the biggest VPOC. And the other ones are just having their border, orange border. Yeah. And that's the default setting. So you should already be able to see that. And like here too, you know, orange box here, the orange. And you can use another color if you want, but I don't know which color you would prefer, but like for example, you can do here profile bar VPOC color. You can make it. I don't know. You want to make it cyan. Here you can make this it's science. Yeah, nice. Very cool. Yeah, you can make it cyan or whatever stands out for you. I use orange because I'm Dutch. So, you know, orange is the Dutch color. So yeah, that's the only reason. But you can make it whatever color you want. Yeah, I just like orange. You can make it dark orange or whatever makes you still be able to read the number. Oh, you did? Oh yeah, that's busy, right? I actually tend to avoid those lately, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just getting old, but but yeah, they used to be fun, yeah, for sure. I used to live in the center of Amsterdam, and yeah, it was crazy times. Fun parties. Yeah. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I've sailed a lot too, but mainly on the, you know, the Wadden. I don't know if there's the English translation, but like on the north of the Netherlands, like you can go to the islands over there, and yeah, I've sailed there a lot, and almost every summer, but never really into Rotterdam or anywhere on the North Sea. No, but yeah, cool. Nice. That's right. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a big terminal there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. When was that? Oh wow, cool. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I was already on a sailing boat then, but yeah, I was pretty young. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. 88. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're heading for the next zone encoder level. The initial one did have some reaction, so yeah, it was tradable for me. well, you saw me taking the trade, right? So kind of worked. Didn't have that much of a reaction as I hoped it did, but it's also not my time frame now, right? I prefer those things to happen close to the open, not in lunchtime. Let's see. Maybe we go to back to the highs. Like to 6,200, 7,600. Let's see. Let us see. Who knows? Seen crazier things lately. So yeah. No, it doesn't show absorptions. It's more plotting levels of where there's a high chance of market like balancing out, things like that, and have a reaction. And it has also percentages in there. So this zone was like 76 conviction level from the AI. This one has a 93 one, so this is a lot better. But usually it always gives some kind of reaction. And let me maybe plot it on a bigger chart. Let me see. Oh, I'm messing up. Because there's more, it's formed already from there, right? So it's not the only level that it's plotting. So, like it has a level here, which did work actually. So here, which hit. So it went from like 47 to 35. Then this one, yeah, honestly, didn't have that much of a reaction, but but yeah, it will also create new zones, right, in real time. So yeah. It's mostly based on structure on the market and the volume traded at its price. Yeah. But you need a lot of context, right? It's not just it's not like it gets there and I sell it. No, it needs context, right? You need context. Like right now, it's just lunch hour and whatever. Like I won't even trade it. I just showed it on the stream just because I'm on the stream, but like I wouldn't even be behind my desk at this point, right? So yeah, it needs a lot of context for sure. With almost anything, right? So no, I don't trade it because it's not my time frame to trade. So I only trade like the first hour of the market, and that's just my rule. So before that or after that, I'm just not interested anymore in it anymore. I just I'll leave it be. Breakouts. Well, breakouts. Not per se breakouts. I still use volume profiles and things like that, and mainly order flow. But the most of the moves are like the first hour, right, or first hour and a half, something like that. And I prefer to make use of that instead of waiting for hours and hours to get my fill or not. And I prefer to be wrong very quickly. And I ideally am right very quickly. So yeah, so I don't prefer to be at the screen the whole day, which I've done many years, but it's at this point I don't prefer that anymore. Yeah. I would say bonds are pretty good. ES and Q Yeah. I myself, I only trade ES, so my personal experience is mostly from ES. I mean, I've traded everything. Like, I've also traded for like a physical prop firm in Amsterdam. So I traded. I had my Eurex license, things like that. So I've traded everything. Um, but yeah, now my focus is just ES, and that's it. I just want to do one thing and then do it well, and then just go on with my day. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. Feel free to email me. No, I don't trade European session. No, I'll prefer to have a chill morning and then just trade the US market. Yeah. Yeah. No, I usually go for a run in the morning, and then I spend some time with my dog, and maybe have lunch with friends, and be at the beach here. And yeah, and then for me, trading starts at 2:30 in the afternoon, and then I usually trade till around 3:30, and then yeah, the rest I work on the platform. Yeah, test the code from developers, things like that. I enjoy life. Go kite surfing. Yeah, but no, European session. I've kind of didn't trade anymore after I left the prop firm in Amsterdam. Yeah, I feel I prefer to do sports in the morning and then do more things with my mind in the afternoon. So yeah, but it's whatever you're used to, right? I've been trading ES for so long. I just I can't be bothered anymore in the morning. But it's whatever you're used to, right? Like if you only trade like Euro stocks or DAX, then yeah, that can become or be your expertise, right? So it's very personal. Yeah. DAX, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that can be a thing. And yeah, that's completely fine, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I've tried DAX. For me, it's very hard. Like, yeah, I at the time I was trading, there was no mini DAX. You know, it didn't exist. It's just a very big contract to trade, and you know, and it moved already like NQ at the time. You know, like it was very fast. So I preferred the Euro stocks because it was more like, you know, like more like ES. Yeah, and the DAX usually just scared me. Like, it's fun when it's going your way, but if it's not, like you're stopped out in no time. So, you know. Yeah, right. So yeah. And lately especially, right? I mean, the ES right now feels like trading like NQ lately, so it's very, very intense for me. I'm not used to it yet. So, yeah. Yeah, good analysis, David. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, buyers are definitely in control. Um, that's why you need context, right? You can still like have an amazing level, but if there's no context in shorting or whatever, you should only use it as maybe a level to scale out or something, right? So it's not, you know, with everything you need context. So like nothing goes up forever and nothing goes down forever. But yeah, it's important to have that context, in my opinion. Yeah, that's for sure. Buyers are in control. Until they're not. But for now, yes. We're only one tweet away from that flipping. Yeah, very interesting stuff, David. I never really dove into that kind of things. But yeah, maybe I can program it into the platform. So it calculates it automatically for you. You probably already have, but nice. Yeah. Let me take a look. Yeah, interesting. I'll take a look. Yeah, just browsed over a little bit, but yeah.